The subway platform hummed with the same tired rhythm it did every evening, metallic echoes of footsteps, the hiss of doors, and the low grumble of the train just out of sight. Among the crowd, no one noticed the man slumped near the tiled wall, guitar case open, fingers hovering over worn strings. His coat was frayed at the cuffs, hair pulled back in a tangled bun, and his eyes, though dulled, held remnants of a spark that once commanded spotlights. "You were something once, Frankie," he muttered under his breath, plucking a soft chord. "Now you're background noise." Frankie Russo hadn't always been invisible. There was a time when his name danced across marquees, when his music pulsed through speakers in cafes, college dorms, and late-night car rides. He had a voice people said could pull a soul out of silence. But life doesn't always keep you on the high notes. After losing his wife to cancer, Frankie's music dimmed with his spirit. The gigs stopped coming, the calls slowed, and the bottle became his metronome. That Tuesday, like many others, he strummed half-heartedly, not expecting more than a few crumpled bills or passing glances. Until she arrived. She couldn't have been more than 12, backpack slung over one shoulder, eyes wide with the curiosity of someone who still believed in magic. She stood a few feet away, listening, unmoving. Frankie faltered mid-song. "What? You never seen a broken-down has-been before?" The girl blinked, unfazed. "No. I've just never heard anyone play like that." He chuckled dryly. "You need to get out more." But she didn't move. Instead, she sat cross-legged beside him, pulling out a spiral notebook. "My name's Maya. I'm writing a story for school. It's about people with secret talents." He raised an eyebrow. "Secret, huh? Mine's not exactly secret. Just forgotten." "Then maybe that's even better," she said, tapping her pen to the paper. Frankie watched her write, her small hand racing across the page. For a moment, something stirred in him, a memory of his daughter, back when she used to dance to his music in the living room. Before her mother got sick. Before they both drifted away. The next day, she returned. And the next. She brought snacks. Asked questions. Wanted to hear his songs, the old ones, the half-finished ones. She sang along in her soft, unsure voice. And Frankie, almost involuntarily, began to care again. By the third week, Maya brought him a small flyer, community showcase, uplift open mic night. All ages. All talents. He scoffed. "You think I'm gonna get up in front of people again?" She grinned. "I think maybe you should. I'm not that guy anymore, Maya." "Maybe you're someone better now," she said quietly. Those words stuck with him like a chorus he couldn't shake. That night, he tuned his guitar properly for the first time in months. He hummed an old melody, then rewrote the bridge. His fingers stumbled, but he kept going. When Friday came, Maya was waiting outside the subway station, bouncing on her heels, wearing a handmade t-shirt that said, "Team Frankie." "Seriously?" he laughed. "Dead serious," she beamed. The community center was small, its walls lined with local art and warm yellow lights. Teens read poetry. An elderly man played the violin. And when Frankie's name was called, something inside him shifted. He stepped onto the stage, heart hammering, palms slick. But when he looked out into the audience and saw Maya clapping, eyes shining, he took a breath. "I haven't done this in a while," he said into the mic, "but someone reminded me that music doesn't die just because you forget why you started." He played. And for the first time in years, he felt the notes. They weren't perfect, but they were honest. His voice cracked, but it carried. The room was quiet by the end, and then erupted into applause. After the show, a woman approached him. "You're Frankie Russo, right? I used to play your songs in my dorm. I work for a local radio station now. We do a second act segment. Ever thought about telling your story?" He looked at Maya, who gave him a silent thumbs up. "Yeah," he said, "maybe it's time." In the weeks that followed, things began to shift. The radio interview went viral locally. An old bandmate reached out. Someone invited him to record a session in a small studio. He cleaned up, cut his hair, started attending a support group. Maya came to every event, notebook always in hand. She said she wanted to be a journalist or maybe a songwriter. Frankie began teaching her guitar. Her tiny apartment was cramped, shared with a single mom who worked nights, but it rang with music and laughter when he visited. One day, she showed him her story. It was titled, "The Man Who Forgot He Could Fly." He cried when he read it. "Why me?" he asked her, voice thick. "Because the world needs reminders," she said. "That even broken people can make something beautiful." Months passed. Frankie recorded an EP. He dedicated it to Maya. The liner notes read, "To the girl who heard music in my silence." Years later, at her high school graduation, Maya gave a speech about how one act of kindness can rewrite someone's story. She pointed to Frankie in the crowd. "He thought he was giving up. But he gave me music. And hope. And proof that second chances aren't just real, they're powerful." Frankie stood and clapped the loudest, tears blurring his view. As he walked home, guitar slung over his shoulder, strangers smiled and nodded. A street performer played one of his songs outside the train station. And as he dropped a bill in the case, he said to the young musician, "Don't ever forget, your story's just getting started."